Um, in many ways, I think mentality was a big thing. For me coming into this year, not really certain of my future and not really, you know, knowing what it had, in store for me, my mentality just shifted. I said I'm just gonna go straight to grind mode and just get it, man. And whatever happens, happens. Roll the ball and play. I think I had a lot of support, from the organization upstairs, and a lot of support from the support staff itself and the training staff, my medical staff, and and I think just playing with a pass first point guard was a big thing for me. Playing my natural position was another huge thing for me as well, and being thrust in a position to thrive, right away. You know, um, I think everybody here knows how hard of a worker I am and how much I dedicate myself to my craft and my game, and being healthy. It's another big thing about it as well. This is it took a village to get me here. When it came to just my health and my body at that, and I was able to enjoy the fruits of my labors this year quite a bit.
Where does a season like this mean for you mentally when, like you said, didn't know about your future entering it, but then kind of everything falls into place the way you kind of wanted it to?
Yeah, man, it was a very patient process at that. It could be frustrating at times, to get to this point, but I saw it out and I saw it through, and I couldn't be happier with the way things played out, for me individually this year. But I'm not satisfied, and I think that's a big thing. I need everybody to understand is that this is a good year, but this isn't my ceiling. This is just where I know I'm getting started and I can take off from. This is the first year I've played in this position in quite some time, and I'm excited to grow upon it. I'm not just satisfied with what I have. Then I'll take the next 2 weeks to, reflect and be happy about, what I accomplished. But then it's right on to the next season and just shifting that mentality back to, to getting better.
What is that next step, or what do you want to improve now?
Well, I think I've had some individual success, but I want to prove that this is more than just a flyover city, man. Like we're really a competitive group and a hungry group at that. And I think we got a solid core that was able to come together and start something this year. But we want to keep building upon that ourselves. So I think we have a lot of excitement coming to the city next year with the All-Star game, with the facility over here, being done. I think fans have a lot to look forward to, from us, and just getting back in that playoff race, just getting back into the off-season berth, as nice as it is to kick your feet up for a week or so, I guarantee you, by day 3 or 4, in this off-season, it's like, man, we should be here. There's no reason why we shouldn't be here. So, just taking your emotions out of it, but just actually being ready for, you know, that next jump as a team.
Keep going on what you said about, you went into this year not knowing what your future was going to be, and a lot of things moving around. Glad that a lot of things are in place now. That you have a sense of what your future is for the next couple of years at least. Knowing who your point guard is, having worked with Tyrese, you got a sense of how good that can be, and going back to playing the position. What do you think that just does for you this offseason going forward to next season? And now you have a better sense of who you are, where you're going to be, and where you fit with this
It's a great question. It works wonders for me. I think the past two off seasons were cut very short with rehab. 2 years ago, I think I had messed up my toe. I had to that one took a little bit longer. I had to rehab for about 2 months before I was able to actually go and play basketball and do stuff. Last summer, what happened with my foot. I had to rehab for about a month before I got into it. There is no rehab now. It's just strength. It's just straight into getting better and and growing upon the foundation I laid for myself this year. And you know, going into next season, it's just such a refreshing thing knowing that I'll be able to come in here and just work, man, and not to worry about, what could possibly happen, with trades, what could possibly happen in free agency, what the situation is going to be upstairs, and all that's alleviated for me personally. So it's a much easier, free flowing mindset, than I've had in the past.
not having them have the summer be about rehab, what do you want it to be about?
Um, you know, with the rehab process, one thing I took away from it was growing just mentally. Um, Doing all the little tedious things, for your body each and every day, working on the little tiny muscles, that don't, get love when you're in there working in the weight room or whatnot. I think I was able to grow that mentality. Now I grow upon that even more. Just um, doing the little stuff I don't want to do. Like a little meticulous thing I do is just like taking a towel and having to crunch it up, like with my toes and whatnot. Something that's just meticulous, just for your ankles. Like stuff like that I hated doing. I fully embrace that type of stuff now. Um, being able just to actually be on the floor, and play a little bit more, this summer. I haven't really been able to play, much pickup basketball or doing that type of stuff. 'Cause I'm still trying to work myself into shape. So just, kind of being a kid again and go out there and just playing. Like that's just when you roll the ball out there and to go out there and play with other pros and whatnot. That's just a fun feeling. There's no pressure. You just go out there and hoop. So doing that a bit more, and I think honestly just growing myself outside the game as well. I have a lot of, endeavors that I'm into. I'm starting to get into fashion a little bit more. I think I saw it last year. I want to grow upon that. My sister's getting into modeling, try to help her with her career. I mean, I have a lot of stuff I want to do. I have my philanthropic stuff. I'm hosting my camps. I'm coming back out here in August, for a camp for, the local kids here in Indy as well. I'll release more details on that soon, but that's something I'm excited about. And I've always had just my camps in Texas, but, coming out here and just growing that more, just keep on growing upon the things that make me me. Man, the confidence, bro. Both of them, like just between Drew and Ben, coming in here and stepping in right away, and just being able to make a difference for us, being able to play. That's hard, man, for two rookies at that to come in and play big moments. I think Drew's coming out party was obviously that West Coast trip. We had that great game at Golden State. Hit the game winner in L.A. And Ben has just been solid and consistent all season long. What he did. I love Ben's mentality. I love the way he approaches the game. Not a lot of guys have it. The way he has a very serious demeanor. And, two young guys that are continuing to grow and shine in this league.
Myles, it's the front office's job to work with the roster in the offseason, but now more than ever, are you in a position to not necessarily help, but be an asset, talk to other players if they're considering guys, and to tell people around the league what can't happen here with the Pacers?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I think it's just that, just having the experience of being in an organization for so long and knowing how the ins and outs and the nuances of it all work. That's definitely something that's an advantage, going into this offseason. These guys are going to do their due diligence. They do a great job. You've seen the people they brought in here over the past couple of years. But we know we got to get better, as a team. And, you know, I think I'll be heavily consulted, here and there. But for the most part, that's what they get paid to do. I can only just lend a helping ear or lend an ear or lend a helping hand at times.
Myles, you did well individually defensively, but the team really struggled again in that area. What needs to be cleaned up? What would make everything more comfortable for the other four guys out there?
No, it's big. Individual defense is one thing that we got to grow. You can have a system defense all you want, but it's a team sport. If one person's lacking here, then the other four are gonna have to make up for it. So I think one thing I've really challenged the guys on, I really think the organization has challenged the guys on, is just being better individual defenders. That's gonna be huge. That's a pride thing at that. I think a lot of guys put the ball in the hoop, and not a lot of guys take pride like in that other side of the ball. And the better teams I've been on here, people hated coming into at the time Bankers Life, now Gamebridge, to come in here and play. I don't know if the league definitely it feels that way anymore, but that's the mentality and the stature we got to get back to. Because if we ever want to have any, off-season hopes and whatnot, or sorry, postseason hopes, that's where it's got to be.
How much does it sting you to not be part of that now for 3 straight years? Does that kind of fuel your motivation this summer?
That's a loaded question. I mean, I think getting spoiled, coming into the league and being in the postseason 3, 4 years in a row, and just seeing the flip side of it, having the young guys come in and just be more a part of a developmental group as opposed to, a postseason group. It's an interesting perspective because when I came my rookie year and you're in it, it's just a grind, grind, grind. Then when you get there, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. Now from a bird's eye view, it's you grind, 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 and you're not there, and it's like a slap in the face, because there's times where you look at how well we were doing in December or whatever the month was where we had our role, and Ty goes down, I go out, for a few games here and there, and it just all changed so quickly, So to answer your original question, yes, I'm very upset that it is the third year of a row of us getting so close, but just so far at the same time. But I don't hate it for our young guys to get the experience that they got this year. I wouldn't trade that for anything because experience is everything. And to be able to play at a high level each and every night, we had to depend on these young guys to come out here and grind it out. We had a lot of guys on this roster who didn't have, this opportunity on the teams they were at before. I look at someone like Aaron Neesmith, like he run through a wall for you and, got those minutes this year. That's something that you cannot replace. So I hate that we're not in the postseason, but I love the fact that our guys got the experience they got.
When the season began, did you think you'd still be here after the trade deadline?
Oh, another loaded question. I think
Goes with them.
we know. Um, I think that I didn't really know, to be honest. I know I wanted to be here. I can tell you that much. But I also know the business of basketball, and I know the business of, you know, money at that, and how you had to make things work. So I didn't know what that was going to be, to answer your question. But I know where my heart was.
What are you most proud of what you were able to accomplish? Because there are a number of different things individually you checked off this season.
Um, well, a big thing for me was getting into the offseason healthy. That was a huge, huge goal of mine at the beginning of the year, is having a healthy year. So that's one thing I'm very proud of. Obviously I'm proud of my offensive output. Being able to be around the basket more as opposed to shooting as many threes as I did. Over the past couple of years. Um, I'm proud of. I think all season long, I think I just got better and better and better, learning. Reintegrating to another position at that. And man, obviously, I think I'm just proud of just the fact that I was able just to stay so mentally strong through through some tough through some tough lapses here over the past 3-4 years. I think that was a it wasn't always easy for me to come in here and smile every day and just be the person that I am, but I just stayed true. I stayed true to my teachings, the things I believe in, and I got rewarded for it. So obviously that's one thing that I'm very happy about as well.